Yep, Abraham and Isaac. And what was Abraham was wanting to get a hoop for Isaac. A wife. Yep. And he ended up getting him a wife. And they had kids. And one of those kids was Jacob. Jacob grew up, got married, had sons. How many is that? 12 sons. 12 sons. So, they were a busy guy. And the second to the last son was named Joseph. So we had all these older sons. Then we had Joseph and Benjamin. And for some reason, Jacob really, really loved Joseph. You know, he was just kind of his favorite. But here's the great thing about Joseph. You can keep it. You can keep it. Here's the weird thing about Joseph. Joseph had dreams every once in a while. Even when he was a little kid like you guys, he had dreams. And in those dreams, he was in the center of all his brothers. And his brothers... What's your... I'm not sure what he's saying.
What time is it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we're all right.
I know that already.
In his dreams, Aiden, Joseph's brothers were all around Joseph, and they were bowing to him. And Joseph actually told his brothers about his dreams. His brothers, his brothers did not like those dreams. Why do you think? Why did his brothers like that? They're kind of jealous of him. They knew his dad liked him the best. And how would you feel if your sister told you that she had dreams and she knew that when you guys grew up you were going to bow to her? You're like, oh, please. Don't be telling me that. You think you're all that. Well, that's what the brothers thought. Joseph thought he was all that. Well, here's the deal. Let me move you over here with Tanner. We're going to take care of it in a little bit.
Guys, try to listen. Try to listen to
I need a Joseph. Let's see. Jack, what do you think I do? Joseph was he was probably, I don't know, about 15, I'm guessing.
Hi, Joseph.
And Joseph, his father, like we said, liked him really a whole bunch. And his father had made for him a coat that was different than any of his other brothers. It had lots of colors. It was really stood out. And that was another way his brothers knew that Dad likes Joseph the best. But he liked to wear it. Joseph wore that. That's okay. Just leave it. Just leave it.
Hey, let's put the balls away
We're not going to have
right
balls
now.
right now.
Right now it's story time. Throw the balls out so we can get them later. There you go. Thank you.
Now, how did Jacob feed his family? Jacob had a big, big family. You know what he had? He had tons and tons of sheep. And all the brothers would go and tend to the sheep way out in the fields. Except Joseph, he didn't have to. He was home, just taking it easy. And one of these days, Joseph's mother and father said, hey, will you take lunch out to your brothers who are out tending the sheep? Now, they're pretty far away, but I want you to take lunch to them. So, here's lunch for all those brothers. Okay, Joseph, you're going to have to travel all the way around the circle. Whew, it's a long way. Here, I need some brothers.
Stay here. Wait a minute.
All right, so here comes Joseph. You guys have been out in the field forever. You've been tending to the sheep. What have you been eating while you were out here? What do shepherds eat? Nuts. Maybe berries.
Fruit Loops.
Joseph. I don't care what he brought us. We do not like him. Let's just get rid of him. Dad will never know. Dad will never know. And so one of the brothers, one of the smarter brothers, said, hey, don't get rid of him, but I know where there's a pit. Let's leave him in a pit way over here, and we'll leave him. That'd be funny. So they took Joseph, and they threw him, brothers, into a pit right here.
In the
So
pit?
yeah, into a big hole. They threw him in a big hole. They thought that was kind of funny. Now it was better than what these brothers wanted to do. They wanted to get rid of him totally, never let him go home ever. While he was in a pit, some people from Egypt were traveling through. Some salespeople, some people that buy some things, and they were traveling through. And oldest brother here said, hey, you guys interested in a slave? You interested in buying a nice, healthy 15-year-old kid?
Yeah.
And the Egyptians said, yeah, I'll buy him from you. So they gave money to the brothers. The brothers took his coat. Okay. Gave the traders Joseph. And guess what they did with the coat? Here's an interesting thing. They ripped it. They put blood on it. They decided they're going to take this coat back to Dad and say, Dad, we're so sorry, but it looks like Joseph was eaten by an animal. Look at his coat. It's all ripped and it's got blood on it. And I don't think we're ever going to see Joseph again. And they faked crying. They faked the whole thing. And they let Joseph's dad think that Joseph got eaten up. So you brothers go sit down. You have caused enough trouble.
Way to go, brother.
They didn't tell the truth. You are right. They did not tell the truth.
Way to go.
So here we go. We've got Joseph here. Okay, come with me, because I'm gonna sell you as a slave. So we're gonna take him all the way to Egypt, and we're gonna sell him to a man named Potiphar. Now this guy Potiphar, he was like a governor. I mean, he had a really nice house. And you know, when Joseph was in the house, he was supposed to clean up. That was your job. You make my house look really nice. You take control of all the other servants. And you start working. So Macy, where'd you go? Macy, come here. Potiphar had a wife. Potiphar was never home. He was always gone doing official business. But Potiphar's wife was always home. And you know what? She started admiring Joseph. She really liked him. She liked to talk to him. She liked to joke with him. She liked to touch him. And Joseph was like, this is making me uncomfortable because she's married to who?
Potiphar.
And Potiphar is his boss. And he's like, I don't know what to do. Well, you know what? Potiphar's wife, she kept doing that every day. She kept talking to him. She kept trying to joke with him. And finally, when Joseph didn't joke back, and he didn't smile back, and he didn't touch back, Potiphar's wife said, I don't like that. I'm going to tell my husband that you're not doing your job right. I'm going to tell him that you shouldn't even be here. You're not doing your job right. In fact, you're a dangerous man. That's what I'm going to tell my husband. And she did. And guess what happened? Okay, Potiphar's wife, you can sit down because you've caused enough trouble too.
Trouble.
Guess what happened to Joseph?
Busted.
He got put in jail.
Busted.
So here we go. Potiphar, put him in jail. Here you go, Joseph. You're in this jail. Come here.
In jail.
In jail for a long time. So now he's like in his 20s, and he's in jail with a bunch of other people. Two of those people happened to have worked for the king, for Pharaoh. One was his baker, and one was the person that served him his wine every day. And those two people were in jail too because, you know what? They didn't do things right either. And the king just decided to put them in jail. So here they were, all in jail, couldn't go outside, just biding their time. And one of these days, the baker and the person that gave the king the wine said, you know what? I had dreams that I didn't like. I didn't, and I don't know what they mean. And Joseph said, well, God interprets dreams. God's going to tell you what they mean. So the baker said, well, here's my dream. I had on my head this basket, and it had a whole bunch of bread in it, and the birds kept coming and eating the bread. What does that mean? And the person that gives the king the wine said, well, I had dreams about, there was this great big grape cluster, and I was squeezing the grapes, and wine came out and went into the cup. What does that mean? And Joseph said, well, I'll tell you what it means. Baker, Pharaoh, or the king, is really still unhappy with you, and in 3 days, you're going to be executed. You're going to be hung. You're going to die. And cupbearer, the person that gives king his wine, guess what? You're going to get your job back. You're going to go back and give wine to the king. And guess what? Exactly what Joseph said, because God gave him that knowledge, exactly what Joseph said happened. So here the baker was executed. The cupbearer went back and worked for the king. Here was Joseph again, sitting in jail. 2 years go by, and the person that gives the king the wine heard the king say, I had this dream, and it really bothered me. And in fact, the king said to his magicians, to his wise men, he said, hey, here's my dream. Now, you tell me what it means. And they're like, king, we don't know. We don't know what that means. The cupbearer heard that, and he said, king, I think I know someone who can tell you what the dream means. But they're in jail. The king said, well, go get him out. Come bring me this person. Come on, you're going to go see
Here
the
goes
king.
Joseph. Hi, Joseph.
Okay, thank you. All right, so who's my king here? No, I already had. Let's see. You want to be
Need a new
king?
king.
Sure.
Mason's a good
No, you
king.
are Potiphar's wife.
You're Potiphar's wife. You're Potiphar's wife.
All right. So the king says to Joseph, I had this dream. I need you to tell me what it means. And Joseph, now listen to what he said. This is interesting. Joseph said, King, I can't tell you, but God can tell you. And the king says, well, okay. Here's my dream. The king says, you know what? I had a dream that out of a river, out of the Nile River came 7 fat cows. They just came out of the river. They were eating, they were grazing. You know how cows do. They're face down and they eat the grass. And they looked great. They looked really, really happy. And then, after that, 7 more cows came out of the river, and they were scrawny, and they could barely move, and they didn't look good at all. And that kind of worried the king. And then what happened? The scrawny cows ate the fat cows.
That's a weird dream.
That is a weird dream. Then,
Isn't that a weird dream?
I had a second dream, says the king, and I dreamt about heads of wheat. I just went and got these from a farmer's field. Do you know that when you eat bread, you're actually eating that? These kernels here, the farmers take them, they take them to a place that's going to pound them down, and it becomes flour. it becomes that white flour. And what does flour make? It makes bread, it makes cookies, it makes cake, it makes pancakes, it makes all those good things you like. So the king said, oh, it makes hot dogs? I don't think so. So here's, the king said, I had a dream about some really fat, nice wheat kernels, I guess. And they looked really great, and they were on one stalk. And then out of that same stalk came some really kind of scorched, burned, skinny kernels on the same stalk. And the skinny kernels did what? Ate the fat kernels. Well, I'll tell you why. It was a dream. You've had dreams where just weird things happen? Yeah. Well, Joseph listened to all of that, and he said, God gave him the answer, Louisa, right away. Joseph said to the king, I know what God is trying to tell you. God is trying to tell you that you are going to have, this land that you rule is going to have 7 really good years where plants are going to grow, your animals are going to grow, you're going to have sunshine, you're going to have rain, you're going to have so much food you don't know what to do with it. After those 7 years, you're going to have another 7 years where nothing's going to grow. You're not going to have plants, you're not going to have animals that live, you're not going to have sunshine, you're not going to have rain. You're going to be the farmers aren't going to be able to have anything grow. So, Joseph says, Pharaoh, king, this is what God wants you to do. He wants you, those 7 years where you have tons and tons and tons of plants, save some of that grain, some of that flour, store it away every single year, and then when the bad years come, what can happen? What can happen? Yeah, you have all that grain saved, then you won't starve to death. And Pharaoh says, I think that's a really good idea. But who is going to help us do that? And then Pharaoh thought, I think Joseph, he's the one that interpreted the dreams. Joseph can be just kind of like Pharaoh.
Super Joseph.
And he is going to be in charge of making sure all of the grain that we should save is saved. He's going to be in charge of all the farmers, all the land. Think about this. Just yesterday he was in jail. Yes. But the king recognized that Joseph loved God and that God loved Joseph, and God was going to guide him to help Egypt get through the famine. Hey, everybody that came up and worked and did your character. Good job. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, I got you the other music.
What?
The other song I've got